A couple weeks ago on The Smoking Tire, we tried to answer the question, what if a hot rod could handle? Well, today we're going to answer the question, what if a hot rod is built for top-end performance? That's why I brought my old friend Mike Musto, Mr. Angry.
What's up, Matt?
Good to see you again.
You too, dude.
We used to do a serious show together,
Yeah,
did Garage
back in the
419,
day.
many episodes,
Yep.
and he's brought out his car, the 1969 Dodge Daytona. Now tell me about the car.
Basically what we wanted to do was create something that no one had ever seen before. There's a lot of Pro Touring cars, a lot of 69 Camaros and things like that. We wanted to do something that was just new, and we wanted to break the mold. And nobody had ever done a Pro Touring Daytona before.
All right, good enough for us. Today on The Smoking Tire, we're gonna take this ridiculously long and very, very black car for a ride and find out what it is about Pro Touring that makes us want to stop and say, I want one. I'm Matt, that's Mike, and you're watching The Smoking Tire. You thought Lotus, what you were really thinking of was this. How much original is in this and how much is upgraded?
This is actually mostly original. This started life as a 1969 Dodge Charger.
Not an original Daytona.
Not an original Daytona.
Right.
They made 504 of those, and honestly, we weren't going to cut one up.
Yeah.
This is identical to Daytona in every way from a visual and functionality point of view. Everything from the rear window plug to the nose cone to the rear wing. These are all pieces that Dodge actually made to make this car achieve the speeds that it achieved back in 1969.
And the history behind this car, the quick version is this was a homologation car for NASCAR.
Correct.
Back when they actually ran production-based cars.
Correct.
And I believe it was too fast.
It was. They ran this car for 1 year, and it pretty much spanked everything on the racetrack, and everybody bitched and moaned, and the NASCAR said, that's good, and they pulled them. I can tell you that at speed, and by speed I mean well over 100 miles an hour, the car is unbelievably stable. It just squats down and then just goes.
Now what about under this hood here? What are we looking at under there?
Under the hood, it's a 400 cubic inch that was punched out to 471. It makes about 510 horsepower, 515 horsepower around there. Okay. We've updated things like the transmission with a 5-speed Kiesler unit. The brakes it's a one-off brake kit with 14-inch rotors off an SRT8 and Viper calipers. I wanted a car that was comfortable. And I built this car with my buddy Todd Ford, and we said, okay, well, we want to be able to drive this thing across the country, and we don't want to die.
Yeah.
So the car's got AC, it's got cruise control, the suspension's been updated, and it really, truly rides like a modern car. You can drive it all day long. You turn the AC on if you want. You're not going to break your sweat. Turn the cruise control on and just sit back and run.
Now this car is absolutely massive. A Suburban, current generation Chevy Suburban, is 222 inches long.
Okay, this is probably...
How long is this? I will stand here and you will measure.
Probably pretty damn close.
That's right about there. That's the front. What do you got?
We are talking 220, about 221 and a half.
It is massive.
Yeah, but it looks, again, one of the biggest things to have the opportunity to build something like this that you've dreamed about as a kid, and then to let people enjoy it, to go out and drive it and see the looks on little kids and
Let people enjoy it.
That's the key.
You should let me enjoy it right this second.
Oh, I think you're super lucky because the keys are in the ignition.
Oh yeah. You hold this.
Yeah, thanks.
I'll see you.
Yeah.
You know what the best thing is about bridges? There's nowhere for cops to hide. And I think I may have to explore this car's straight line potential, which is why I'm going 20 leading up to the bridge. And downshifting into first. Yeah. Go, baby, go! Okay, that's potential jail time right there. The most interesting thing about this car is the way it looks. The nose cone, the giant wing, the aerodynamic stuff. And what's important about that is that unlike other muscle cars of this era, this thing actually has functional aerodynamics. They say that at speed, 60% of a car's horsepower is used to overcome aerodynamic drag. And so what that means is, if you have a car that makes less drag, you don't really need as much horsepower to go fast. So 510 horsepower may not sound like much for a big muscle car, but the important thing to know is this car has a drag coefficient of 0.28. I looked it up. A Prius is 0.25. Other supercars like the Ferrari 430, the Ferrari F40 even, are about 0.34. Even the SSC Ultimate Aero, at one point the fastest car in the world, is 0.35. So at 19 feet long and 4,200 pounds, this car still has a coefficient of drag that's better than most modern cars. It's absolutely incredible. You know, even though Mike has modified a ton of stuff on this car, there's a lot of it that's original too. The dash, the center console, in fact, the whole interior pretty much, except for the steering wheel and the seats, is original Daytona stuff. That sound. It sounds so good. I would bet that there's something else that does really well too. Should we try that? Yeah, we should. You don't even have to drive this car. You can just look at it to know that this car is absolutely what pro touring is all about. And it's worthy of its nomination for the Hemmings Muscle Machines Muscle Car of the Year award. In fact, this is the only pro touring car that's up for that nomination. So we wish Mike the best of luck of that. And if you want to help Mike, support him in his efforts to build more of these badass rides, buy one of these t-shirts from him. I got one, Tom's got one, Mike's got one. Go to MrAngryInc.com and order yourself a t-shirt. If there's one thing I've learned today, it's that I like my muscle cars like Kim Kardashian likes her men. Really big and really black. I'm Matt Farah. See you guys next week. Oh look, a school zone. Let's make some noise. Hello, officer. That one was for you. Just trying to keep you on your toes.